madhyamam asmadacharya paryantam vande guru paramparam. Om Namah Shivaya. Hello, my name is Vijay Kapoor, and I have been teaching Vedanta at the Arsha Vidya Center in the San Francisco Bay Area. Let me shut this off. For the last 2 decades, at least 2 decades, so the Arsha Vidya Center has been involved in this systematic study of Vedanta Shastra, with all the major Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and so on. I'm a student of Pujya Swami Dayanand Saraswati, who I met in his first visit to the US back in 1976. And then I decided to leave my job at Hewlett-Packard and join his 2.5-year course in California from 1979 to 1982. And so we went through a systematic introduction to what's called Prasthanatraya, all the 3 major branches of the Vedanta, which is the 10 principal Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutra. And so I've been teaching the first 2 portions of the Prasthanatraya, namely the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. And I think we have covered many of the main Upanishads, Kena Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Mundaka, and Taittiriya, etc. And we just finished a course on Mandukya Vitkarika. And so some of the students have really been with me for a long time. And it was time to now make a decision whether we should go ahead and do the Brahma Sutra study at this point. I was hesitating because it was for several reasons. I think for a while Swami Viditatmananda ji and I had discussed this, and he felt that we should wait until the qualifications of the students has improved and also their knowledge of Sanskrit. We were not sure how that would be. But I have arrived at this decision after much deliberation. First of all, let me tell you what my knowledge of Brahma Sutra is. As I mentioned to you, Swami Dayanand ji taught the first 4 sutras of Brahma Sutra, and also Shankara's Adhyasha Bhashya as part of the course. And this is what is normally done. After that, the students can pretty much study on their own. Since this was done in 1982, since then I've had 2 or 3 direct contact with Swami Dayanand ji in the study of Brahma Sutra. And perhaps the most interesting was in the year 2002, when in Anaikatti Ashram, Swamiji had a teaching session for all the Swamis and other graduates, non-Swamis who were graduates of this course, and I was very fortunate to be included in that. And Swamiji took a very important text based on Brahma Sutra called Vaiyasika Nyayamala. Vaiyasika Nyayamala. And he took about, I think, 20-25 classes on that. And sitting in the audience along with me were all of our major Swamis, including Swami Paramarthananda. And I remember having a long discussion about teaching with Swami Paramarthananda at that time. So I've had some exposure to this teaching, and also I've been studying it on my own with the help of several books over the years. So I feel that I am qualified to teach. Now the question is, are the students qualified to learn or not? And this is where we were debating back and forth. Recently, however, two of our students went to Chennai to meet with Swami Paramarthananda, and they asked him this question: have you taught Brahma Sutra to not only a few highly qualified Sanskrit knowers students, but the classes in general, which consists of many people who may not know the language itself? And Swamiji was very enthusiastic, and he said, yes, I in fact have taught a good portion of the Brahma Sutra. I'm not sure whether he's finished the whole thing. I don't know that. But he says it went well. And so he encouraged us to take that up. So I've also felt that I should look into that. I proceeded to actually listen to some of those talks by Swami Paramarthananda previously recorded, and I felt that this could be done. Of course, in his case, he teaches several classes a week, and so it would take a long time for us to cover the same detail that he does. But I think if I could modify it and condense it here and there, and do it on a once a week format, which is what we can afford to do, I think we can cover Shankara Bhashya for Adhyasa Bhashya and the Shankara Bhashya for the first 4 sutras roughly in about a year's time. So anyway, with that, the decision is made, and we are going ahead with it. It is said in our Shastra that Vedanta should be taught, and more so this very sacred text, Brahma Sutra, should be taught not to people who are not qualified. We should not teach it to people who are not qualified. Absolutely not. On the other hand, we must teach it to people who are qualified. We should make an attempt to make sure that it is available for those people. So what I request you to do is to visit our website and go over the qualifications necessary to become a student of this course. So the website is arshavidyacenter.org. So again, I'll spell the letters. Arsha, A-R-S-H-A, Vidya, V-I-D-Y-A, all one word, Arshavidya, Center, C-E-N-T-E-R, arshavidyacenter.org. So if you go to that website, you will see pretty much the same introduction that I'm giving you. And below that, there are, I believe, 5 qualifications that I am requesting you to look at and tell me if they apply to you. Then send me an email applying for this course. And the email address is vijaykapoor@gmail.com. 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 So please send me an email. And this class will begin on, this class will be taught on all Saturdays, most Saturdays, except for some holidays, from 8 to 9:30 in the morning, California time, PST, Pacific time. And it will be taught online, live, on YouTube, and you can just watch the YouTube from anywhere in the world. We already have 3 other classes that we've been teaching regularly, and so this option works very well. And then you can also ask me questions on the chat window. And once in a while, I think we'll have a Zoom session where we can see each other but the normal classes will be on YouTube. And the first class will be on Saturday, December 5, in about 2 or 3 weeks from now, 2020. And there we will go into some more details about what text to use. You don't need to do anything for the time being. I am recommending that one very good English translation of the Shankara Bhashya was one from Swami Gambhirananda of Ramakrishna Mission, and this book is available from Amazon, either in an e-form, electronic form, or a hard copy, and it's not that expensive. I think it's the electronic form is about $10 and the hard copy is about $17. So that's the only book on the translation that you would get. But I would say that in most cases, the notes that you will take from our classes will suffice. You don't really need to buy any other books and so on. So that's it. I just wanted to give an introduction to this so that people who may be interested can contact me, and then we can decide if this is the right course for you in terms of your background. Okay, so with that, I take your leave. And again, if you had any questions for me, do not hesitate to send me an email. Again, it is vijaykapoor@gmail.com. Okay. Hari Om.